Hi, I'm Dave Gardy for Maritime TV from our studios here near Washington, D.C. for this special in a series of pre-event virtual interviews surrounding Shipping Insight 2025. Joining us now via Zoom is Ms. Carleen Lyden, who is the Chief Evolution Officer with Shipping Insight. Carleen, thanks for joining us.
Well, I'm delighted to be here, Dave. Thanks for having me on Maritime TV.
Now, Shipping Insight is known as the fleet optimization and innovation platform for shipping. Why have you focused this year's event on revitalizing the U.S. maritime industry?
Well, Dave, as you know, I am co-author of 0.4, How U.S. Leadership in Maritime Can Secure America's Future. In our book, we outlined how the U.S. maritime industry is in crisis, leaving our nation vulnerable in terms of national security, energy security, economic security, food, and workforce securities. So we're proud that our book essentially became the framework for the Ships for America Act. And we have to all acknowledge as a nation and as an industry that we cannot continue to do the same old things expecting a different outcome. That is the definition of insanity. The president's executive order demands change. And as we've learned from this administration, his demands must be met. So it is through innovation and optimization that we will be able to swiftly pivot to a more resilient, productive, capacity-building maritime environment. But to be successful, we need a whole of industry and whole of government approach. The government is working on its changes. We need to bring industry together to complement those efforts. Shipping Insight's 2025 event does that.
Well, what prompted you to move the event to Houston?
Well, Dave, as you know, for the last 14 years, Shipping Insight has been held in Connecticut and last year in New York. But we recognize that the center of gravity for maritime has moved to Houston, and so we followed. We are delighted and honored that Mr. Houston himself, Moran Shipping's Darren Shelton, has accepted the chairmanship of the conference. He is a tremendous asset to achieve our goals.
So what are some of the key elements of the Shipping Insight Conference this year?
Well, we have invited Senator Ted Cruz to open the conference. As the chairman of the Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committee, he is best poised to speak to industry on the work government is doing and how industry can play its role. Then we hope to hear from Chevron Shipping's Barbara Pickering on the theme Making Moves in Maritime, all puns intended. We will then have a case study delivered by Roger Rees of the Port of Galveston, which is celebrating its 200th anniversary this year, to learn how they are poised to participate in the revitalization of our industry. Next, we will hear from the Texas Shakers and Movers on how Texas became central to the U.S. maritime industry and its plans to amplify that position. After witnessing success and leadership locally, Rear Admiral Jim Watson, one of my co-authors of 0.4, will outline the necessity for change on a national basis, and then go on to moderate a panel of change agents in ship design, shipbuilding, ship owning, and port operations, and more. We then dive into existing solutions that can form the basis for achieving the revitalization we so badly need. Cyber protection, technology to optimize ship operations, adoption of fuel types, plus revolutionary vessel and fleet designs. This will set the stage for Shipping Insight's focus on innovation with an emphasis on facilitating change, fostering collaboration, and finding financing to support it all. We end with Shipping Insight's signature maritime Shark Tank.
What do you hope to achieve with this year's Shipping Insight event?
Our goal is to raise the issues and opportunities surrounding the need to revitalize the American maritime landscape and gain momentum within industry to take action. Right now, the activity is focused on government and lobbyists. We need a whole of industry movement to affect meaningful development.
Now, the next day, you're holding the 16th, a leadership roundtable forum. What is that all about?
Well, after a day of information sharing at the conference, we're holding an invitation-only forum to process the information and discuss a pathway forward. We are limiting the participation to 50 industry leaders, representing a full spectrum. We will be operating under Chatham House rules, so leaders can speak freely, which means no media. Sorry, Dave.
What key outcomes are you going to expect from this event?
Dave, how many times do we attend workshops and conferences where nothing happens once we go back to our day jobs? Not this time. We will be collecting the information and reports to develop a synthesized plan that involves a whole of industry approach to change.
What do you want our viewers to do?
Show up. Be part of the conversation. Come to Houston in October to help in the revitalization of our American maritime industry. I was told years ago that if I don't exercise my vote in elections, I lose my right to complain. If people don't participate in this critical event, then they lose their right to complain about how the process is going. I guess what I'm saying is, join us in Houston and be part of the solution. It is also much more satisfying than complaining.
Well, thank you very much for giving us a perspective of Shipping Insight 2025. We've been speaking with Carleen Lyden Walker, who is the Chief Evolution Officer for Shipping Insight 2025.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Dave, and I look forward to seeing everyone in Houston, October 15th, for Shipping Insight 2025, Revitalizing the American Maritime Industry.
Thank you. I'm Dave Gardy from Maritime TV from our studios here near Washington, D.C. for this first in a series of pre-event virtual interviews about Shipping Insight 2025. Thanks for watching.